Got myself a brand new axolotl. Name suggestions, please. We've got a pink one and a yellow one. The yellow one we got a couple of episodes ago. Then the pink one has been introduced in this episode. I just sent out a post talking about if I want to stream TerraFirmaGreg. We are in that point where I'm doing a lot of tedious, kind of boring things. And so I thought it'd be a great suggestion or a great idea to start streaming all the boring stuff in case you guys wanted to see it and hang out and chat with me and stuff. So let me know how you guys feel about that in the comments. I will go ahead and get the circuit board. Oh my god, voice crack. I think it worked. Oh, it did! Alrighty everybody, welcome back to TerraFirmaGreg. This is episode 16. And you may notice that there's some slight differences about things. Maybe it's the way I've done my hair. Let me take off my helmet. Maybe it's the way I've done my hair. Maybe it's how awesome this sword is. But if you have ears, you might notice something that's different. I got myself a brand new microphone. And I'll leave a link in description if you are interested in this microphone. I got the whole kit for less than $100. It was really nice. And yeah, if you need a nice microphone on a budget, this one's perfect. It's even XLR capable, which I don't have an XLR, but I might get one soon. But yeah, I've been holding off on recording this episode because I wanted to start this episode with this brand new microphone. And I'm super happy with it so far. Hopefully it stays like that. I just got it yesterday, and I've just been super excited. And in the meantime, I've been doing a lot of off-camera work for TerraFirmaGreg. So, let me put my helmet back on, and of course we'll have the Distant Horizons issues going. Let's go ahead and get right into the episode, shall we? So, let's first of all take a tour. So, you'll notice nothing looks different until you come over to this side, and then you'll see some things are slightly different over here. So, let me go ahead and give you the rundown of what I've done. So I first of all moved the boiler over to this side, and we'll get there. I tried to get the furnace working, the blast furnace working, but I believe I don't have enough voltage or I think it's amperage going into it. I think I need a constant 4 amps to go into this. I think I need like 4 steam turbines. So I made a battery bank, and I tried putting the battery bank up here and then like cables connecting it with the proper sizing and stuff like that, but this cable would always set on fire, and I'm pretty sure that's because there was too much voltage going through this. Because if I wanted to make steam, for example, what I've been trying to do, I believe I need steel, I mean. Let me see what the recipe requires for. That is not the right type of steel. Where is it? Here it is. The recipe requires me to have 120 EU per tick, and my cables can only support up to 32, and my battery bank can also only support up to 32. So what was happening is, even with like HV cables going into this, I was getting enough voltage, enough amperage, at least in the cables I could get, but in the battery bank itself, where do I have it? Battery bank here, the max voltage out is only 32 EU. I couldn't power with just the battery bank. I need to have actual steam turbines running into this thing. So that's where I'm currently standing. Anyway, you probably also saw I made an electrolyzer, which was useful to get the oxygen inside of this so I could actually test it out, and realized to my utter disappointment, but also not surprised that it wouldn't work. And yes, I also made a whole bunch of batteries, a battery buffer, and a lot of other stuff, which I will show you now. So in this chest over here, not this one, nope, not that one, this one. These are all the machines I've currently got in, this is not a Greg Tech machine. I can just throw that in here, I guess. Anyway, these are all the Greg Tech machines. So I've got one turbine, a fluid solidifier, centrifuge, canner, chemical reactor, and an assembler, as well as the electrolyzer and the battery buffer. But in order for me to power the blast furnace, I'm going to need 3 more steam turbines, and that's really unfortunate because I didn't want to have to use, or I didn't want to have to make more steel with that blast furnace, but I kind of have to because I don't have enough power output at the moment. So I'm going to need a couple more of these. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So let's continue onwards. I guess the main goal of this episode will probably be to get the blast furnace working and also to get, where is it? An MV circuit. At least the MV circuit. I don't know about the circuit assembler. That'd be nice to have this episode. But yeah, I've made a whole bunch of these machines. I haven't made the counterparts of these ones yet because I need more steel. And so I don't want to have to do the TerraFirmaGreg blast furnace. I want to do the electric one. So next we've got this setup here. And so this setup starts with a creosote oven. This creosote oven is then putting or coke oven, I should say. Why is this not running, actually? Oh, it is, okay. So this coke oven is piping all of its creosote into this bronze multi-block tank, which is just 25 of these steam machines casings, a multi-block tank block, and then I've got a tank valve on each side. So this whole thing can hold 4,000 buckets of fluid. Then the coke oven is outputting the coke into this chest, into this hopper, and into this item pipe, which goes to our next component, which is this bronze boiler. So the bronze boiler is being fueled by coke. It is not being fueled by the creosote because I think I can probably refine the creosote into something else later down the line. I will have to deal with this creosote oven eventually because then I won't have any more coke and this will be full and so it won't be running, but that's besides the point. So this boiler is then just, chilling out. It's got the input bus for the coke, the input bus for the water, which is obviously just the steam pump. I could have made an aqueous accumulator and done it that way. I just don't have that kind of resources at the moment. And the best thing about this steam engine setup is that this one doesn't need any fuel for the blaze burner. It just goes on its own because it's got enough power that way. And then this one is producing steam, which you might tell that this tank is very full. This thing is no joke. Even running at 25%, this thing fills up a tank super fast. And thank you to, oh god, I've got to find your name. Hold on, we're gonna find your name, and I'm gonna call you out in a good way, not a bad way. I guess the word would be shout you out. Hold on, I will find it, and then I'll be back. All right, shout out to Kiwi Man for telling me some very good tips for Greg Tech. You suggested that I make that the battery and the superconductor wires are a little bit of a trap early on. The battery, I kind of agree. Though it is nice to have a power buffer, I'm not really using it that much yet. I probably will be soon. And the superconductors, I can't actually... Sorry, I was on another tab. I can't actually make until I have the blast furnace running anyway, so... Yeah, and this is also at MV, so the battery just simply cannot power it. So, yeah, I'll need a separate power system for that. But you also said... I needed 4 turbines to power the... Oh, I'm getting cold. Also my clothes broke. I should probably fix that at some point, but let me warm up real quick. I'll just set down a freaking fire, because maybe not anywhere near anything important over here. Just set a fire right there. I'm still getting cold. Okay, we'll just stand in a ring of fire while I talk. Perfect. Anyway. So you said that I should have roughly 4 steam turbines going into it, but because I've got the boiler, that I should probably have more, or have pipes that do 800 liters or 800 millibuckets per second, I think, or tick or something like that. That way I can power more turbines at the same time, which is a very good suggestion. And you also said that I may want to passive oxygen collection, which I totally agree now that I've done the electrolyzer with water thing. Also, to answer your question, the centrifuge and gas collector and electrolyzer are all available in LV. I just simply chose to do the electrolyzer since it didn't require making more machines at that time. And then you talked about amperage. So cables can burn if amperage is too high. Max generated amperage is given by the amount of the generator connected. So a turbine into a 1x tin cable will not cause explosions, which is very good to know because I was not very informed about that. Even though, I mean, I could read, I just didn't really comprehend it. Playing around with it a little bit more, I do comprehend it now. But yeah, thank you, Kiwi Man, for all your great suggestions. We will be incorporating some of those maybe pretty soon. So yeah, that's exciting. In other news, we also got myself another axolotl. I went to the Nether and mined some more resources and got myself a brand new axolotl. Name suggestions, please. We've got a pink one and a yellow one. The yellow one we got a couple of episodes ago. Then the pink one has been introduced in this episode. The whole idea that I have over here is I'm gonna have... Ideally, I don't want to have a steam line, but considering what Kiwi Man was talking about, I probably will have to have a steam line. But my idea was to have a steam line here that was then put into some battery buffers, and then all of this be electric. But if I'm gonna have to have separate steam turbines for that, for the blast furnace, I'm kind of considering putting it in that corner maybe. I'll probably have steam line going into the batteries for the small machines, and then a steam line going over here to power the blast furnace. So that's probably gonna be my idea for that. And I will probably have to move all my storage units over here or something like that. I don't know what I'll do with that yet, but that's a way later problem. But yeah, that's where we're currently standing. Hopefully you guys aren't too upset with me for doing a bunch of stuff off camera. I just thought it's all just the same thing over and over again, and it's really boring. And so I didn't really want to put that on you. But also, if you didn't see my post, I just sent out a post talking about if I want to stream TerraFirmaGreg. So we are in that point where I'm doing a lot of tedious, kind of boring things. And so I thought it'd be a great suggestion, or a great idea, to start streaming all the boring stuff in case you guys wanted to see it and hang out and chat with me and stuff. So let me know how you guys feel about that in the comments. And I'll probably start streaming TFG soon. I don't know exactly when soon will be, but it definitely sooner rather than later I will begin to stream TFG if you guys are interested in that. So let's get right into the episode, shall we? So what I would like to do is make 3 more steam turbines. I've also considered doing combustion generators, but I don't exactly know how... That would require me make a lot more machines, and then I would also need 4 combustion generators just to power the thing. Or maybe a mixture of steam and combustion, but then that would be another fluid line that I would have to do for biodiesel and stuff like that. So for right now, we're just going to stick to 4 steam combustion or steam turbines, and then go from there. So main goals this episode: make 3 more steam turbines, and then make an MV circuit potentially, and also maybe fill out the rest of this stuff, because just because we have the MV circuit does not mean we're at MV, because we also need the blast furnace to make aluminum for the machine holes for the MV machines. So that is my plan for this episode. So yeah, let's just get started, shall we? First thing I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go and hook up the 1 steam turbine that I do have and set it to just fill up these batteries that I've got lying around. Actually, I think I still need to can them if I'm correct. Yes, I do. So let me do that. I'll set up all the stuff and then I'll be back with you guys. So I don't know if I'm just dumb or if I actually just can't pull fluids from this. I think I might just be dumb, though. Like, I really hope that I don't need the fluid pump. Like these fluid pump covers to pull from this. Or, I mean, I guess if worse comes to worse, I can just put this facing downwards, but then that means I would have to use more of my fluid pipes, and I really don't want to do that, because these protein pipes are kind of a pain to make. I mean, I guess I can do it, though, if I need to. I just don't want to. And that definitely does not work. That means it's going inwards, and I don't want it to go in, I want it to go out. So I might actually need to just set this auto output down, which will be annoying, but... I mean, I'm also It's a very, very, very high probability that I'm just a little bit stupid. Like, I've fully accepted that. Alright, so this is kind of the general consensus of what I want to go here. So I'll have this steam turbine, for now at least, just filling up the batteries in this buffer, and then the buffer is what powers the rest of my machines. So I can go ahead and power that, or this canner, and make these batteries and put them in the buffer. And then have just 16 times 10 wires going all along, so I can put machines up and down, and then have another steam line that goes over and to there. I mean, I guess actually if I wanted to, I could have the blast furnace here, so I wouldn't have to run my steam all the way over there. That makes a lot more sense. And then have the generators this way on the other side of the blast furnace. I think that's probably what I'll do instead. But for right now, this is what I'll have, just so that I can power the rest of these batteries that are in here. But yeah, this is the kind of setup that I have, where there's this generator and then a buffer and then a whole bunch of the Greg Tech machines that I'll be using. So this will be the machine area. And then eventually I can take down this monster over here. Our next step will be to make, well, I guess I'll need to make 4 more of these, because I'll need 1 to power this line. I don't really know if I'll have enough power left over from 4 of these to charge anything in the. I think I'll have 128 EU, and then I'll have just 8 EU a tick going into the battery buffer. So I might as well just make another steam turbine, probably. So yeah, I will make 4 more steam turbines, which is what, 36 more. Yeah, 36 more steel plates, and then a whole bunch of other stuff. And I need more red steel, so that's more steel. So I'll probably just make like a stack and a half, like 64 and 32 steel, not 16, because stacks of ingots are 16. Anyway, I'll be back. We'll figure it out this episode for sure. Also, I hope everybody is doing well today. I haven't actually said that yet, so hope you all are doing well. I've currently got a whole bunch of steel cooking up, and then whenever we are done with the steel, then things shall get really going here. And in the meantime, I gotta go back down and get some food and do some other stuff. So yeah, just thought I'd check in with you guys. Hopefully you're all doing well and you're having a great new year. And if you're back in school or work, God bless you, because I know sometimes it can be rough, especially coming back from break and Christmas and all that stuff. It's not always easy. So yeah, you're doing great. Also, good news, the farm is doing pretty well. I'm gonna have to replant some of this stuff, but yeah, I'm overall super happy with the farm. It works. It's not perfect, but it does what it needs to do, so that's all that matters to me. Also, I realized something. Whenever I was talking about these supports, so I was under the impression that you needed to make the entire 7 block structure, like the 3 on each side and then the 1 across. I was under the impression that you needed to make all of them the same, but you actually don't. The only one that matters is the one that goes across. So if you are using these reinforced steel, concrete, or yeah, these like reinforced like concrete supports or steel supports or anything, and you want to save your good ones, you only need to put the good one on the across section, the one that connects. So if you have a bunch of bad ones and then just one of the good ones, it'll count as if you had it all made of the good ones. So use your good ones only on the across sections, the ones that connect the 2 poles. Don't use them on the poles because they don't matter. Something I found out the hard way after I ran out of supports. I'm like, oh, well, at least that still works. So you can increase your production or your usage of them by 8 times, because now I have 3 more uses instead of 3/7 more uses. So that's pretty cool. All right, and after some time, we should now be able to make 4 more steam turbines. Lovely. So now I will actually be able to power this thing properly. So I guess what I will do is I'm kind of considering making the big protein pipes like how Kiwi Man said, but I'll see how it goes with these ones. These ones do, what is it? Where are they? They're there. These do 480 millibuckets a tick. So It might be enough, it might not be enough, we'll just have to see. And so yeah, I'll be back whenever I've got the blast furnace set up. And hopefully this all goes well. Hopefully I don't have to set this up again. So yeah, be back in just a second. Alright, so I've got the blast furnace set up now. And so my idea is that I'm going to have these turbine generators. There's going to be one here, and one here, and one there, and one there. And then there's going to be this iron wire going across to both of them. And these only give 32 EU a tick, and they have 4 max amps each. So assuming these wires don't touch each other, everything should be okay. And then the steam will be just fueling these two, and then the wire will be going into this. So we will try it right now, and hopefully it goes well. Ouch. So we'll do this, then this. And now, in theory, I should just be able to put this wire here. Ow, ow. Where's my... There they are. And that, then this, and that. Maybe I should have... I probably should have put this one block further away. That's okay. So now if I put... Yeah, this is going to be a problem. Hold on. Connect this one to this one. And this one to that one. And then over here, connect this one to this one. This one to that one. Now we can go ahead and put our wires down. And connect it here. And then put this one here, there, and connect it to here. Now the only thing I need to try is making something. And hopefully nothing breaks out here. And I don't know if I don't think I'll have any more steam left. Maybe, I don't know. I might have enough steam left over from these pipes to power the generators for the other side where all the regular machines will go, but we'll just have to see. For right now, I want to make something. And that something is going to be steel ingots. We just need to put wrought iron or cast iron and oxygen gas into the thing, and then it should give us out some steel. Alright, so we've got the electrolyzer running. And whenever this is done, I don't know how to filter out water yet. I'm pretty sure I need to use an actual filter on this side of the block, but I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm just going to break this pipe until I have the thing that I need. But yeah, I should go ahead and put the cast iron in there. And then wait for this to finish up electrolyzing. Then filter out the hydrogen and just put in oxygen. And then we can see if this thing will run. Muffler hatch is obstructed. I thought I fixed that. Yeah, that works. Okay. Alright, so now we've got the hydrogen in here. And the oxygen. And then I will just break this pipe. Oh wait, I need to export first. There. Yep, that has hydrogen in it. This has the oxygen. And then also, in theory, I should be able to filter just by oxygen now. I'll wait for this to go. Yeah, and then if I do this... This is going. And it's not producing enough. Still... I really don't understand, because this is, these 4 steam turbines should be 128 per tick, and MV is only 120, right? Yeah, 120 EU a tick. Maybe these cables have really bad loss? Hold on. Yeah, so we're losing 12 EU per volt. Okay. That's why it's doing that. Hold on, let me fix that. Okay, so these gold wires will have 4 EU per volt loss per, and because this is a max of 120, or these are all producing 128, then 4 for this one and 4 for this one is 120, which is MV. So it should, in theory, work. Now this should be working, yes? Are you serious? Maybe I need Less voltage loss? I guess if I have any power fluctuation at all, then it will cause issues. Hold on. Let me try this one more time. Alright, we're trying cupronickel this time. Go ahead and run this, and hopefully these don't burn up. Because I didn't put the 2x, I just put the 1. Or I didn't put the... Oh, oops. What is going on here? What the heck? I guess it was just bugged out. Please work. I think it worked. Oh, it did! Okay, this works. Awesome. This is massive. Alright. Proof of concept has been proven. Now I just need to set up the electrolyzer so that it's always got water going into it and do some other stuff. But this is good progress right here. I'm really happy with this. This is awesome. And it just works. So we don't need that setup anymore. Thank the Lord. I hated that setup. It was so bad. But I guess our next step would be probably aluminum and the superconductors, maybe. I don't know about the superconductors. Superconductors kind of seem like a, you know, not really that great, to be honest. But yeah, super happy this works. I'm gonna set up probably a, I don't know if I want to do a gas collector centrifuge or if I want to do an electrolyzer, because I mean, I don't really know what else I can use the electrolyzer for. I mean, it looks like quite a lot of stuff, actually. I really don't know yet, but I do know that I'm very interested in electrolyzing clay right now. It gives me sodium, lithium, aluminum, and silicon, and water, which water is fine, I guess, but... So now I guess my only thing that I want to do is to make the circuit assembler, I guess, is next. Maybe after... I need gallium and arsenic, which I don't know how to get gallium. Oh, it looks like I've got to process zinc or bauxite. Oh, I can just electrolyze right? And then maybe get it. Okay, that works. Okay, well now that we've got the thing working here, I think it's time for me to go ahead and start making some of the create alternatives, or the LV alternatives to these create machines, and then maybe try to get rid of that thing. So I will get to work on that, and I will be back with you guys whenever I've got progress on it. So yeah, big things are happening this episode. Super excited. I will keep you guys updated. Alright, slight deviation from plans here. I think what we're actually going to do is first we're going to make the circuit assembler, because that will make the circuits much cheaper to craft, and I won't have to use the deployer line anymore. So we will do that first, and then we can go back and create all the rest of the LV machines and get rid of this. I might do that off camera, I don't know, but that is definitely what we're gonna do. Our goal right now is the circuit assembler, so I will be back whenever we've got some progress made on that. Alrighty, we are back, and so here's the situation. I had a recording go bad on me because I really don't know why, to be honest, but it was only about 10 minutes worth of footage, so it wasn't too much. And it's actually the next day, so I don't really know what I did, to be honest. But we're gonna go over it really quick in the quest book. So, what I've done is I'm pretty sure I made the diodes, the gallium arsenide, in that footage. I also made an extractor, and then I think that's roughly about it. I also just made a chemical bath so that I can work on getting the rest of the circuit boards going, because I need to chemical bath these so I can make the assembler, or I can make these treated circuit boards, I should say. And then we'll just need some silver wire, and then put all that together and make ourselves some MV circuits. And then we need to make the circuit assembler, which is going to be a really big pain to do, but I can do it, and I shall do it. It'll just take a little bit of time. But yeah, I will go ahead and get the circuit board oh my god, voice crack. We'll go ahead and get the circuit board printed, and then yeah, I will see you then once we are actually starting to build our MV circuits. So see you in a sec. Alright, so things are moving along, and my goal, probably, if not this episode, the next episode, will be to take all of this stuff down, move it over there, move my chest probably over there as well, or maybe even just kind of, I don't know, I might build a roof over this full thing, and then kind of reorganize a whole bunch of stuff. Either move my chest over there, or move these over here. One of those two will happen. And then, yeah, I really want to get some infrastructure set up before we go into MV, because then things will be a lot easier. The only thing that I do want in MV specifically is the, where is it? I don't know if it's on this page actually, but I want the MV centrifuge, I believe. And the reason why I want that one is if I actually, let me do it this way. Let me look for the recipe of sticky resin. So there's, at MV, if you centrifuge latex logs, you can get rubber, plant balls, sticky resin, and softwood pulp, and also some methane. And that will be a lot easier than the whole setup I've got going on here. And I do understand that there's only a 50% chance, but at the same time, one latex log, I believe, is 100 millibuckets of latex. So I need 10 logs to guarantee 10 rubber pulp, I guess. Which is pretty alright, but also the other benefit of that is I get plant balls, sticky resin, and softwood pulp, potentially. And some methane, which I don't really know what I can use methane for off the top of my head, but I'll probably need it at some point, most likely. So yeah, that will be the plan. But that's a later future issue. Currently I'm just still working on making the circuit assembler. And obviously I won't leave out making the MV circuits for this, because that's a pretty big step in the new directions. But yeah, just thought I'd let you know what's going through my brain right now. It's going along. It's just a lot of freaking work. And I'm really, 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 really sick of this. This has got to go. This is ugly and annoying to use. And I'm also sick of the assembly line. It's good, but I just need better. So that's what we're doing. I'll be back. Alright, we're finally making the treated circuit board here, and then I've got the silver already cooked up. I just need to go make it into some wires, and then we should be alright. So progress has been made, and we're not stopping the episode until the circuit assembler is made. I don't know exactly how long this one might be. It might be a shorter one, to be honest, just judging by how much footage I already have. I don't know. We'll just have to see. If I've got a lot of footage left still, I'll probably keep going, maybe. I don't really know what my next goal should be. I guess maybe if the goal is, or if the episode's super short, I'll maybe even just make the goal of this episode to get rid of this monstrosity and replace it all over there. That could be a pretty decent goal. That could also be a stream thing, maybe. But I've been thinking about making the stream more so the logistics of actually getting things automated over there and starting to really have a decent kind of setup going. And so far my only idea is I kind of want to make a basement to that area over there. And essentially what I want is to have fluid tanks in the basement that store really whatever kind of fluid I need. And then whenever I want to actually use that fluid, I can flip a lever and then the fluid exports out of the tank and into the assembler, or I guess it really will depend on which machine I need it to go to, I guess. Maybe it could be like I can have the line of machines that take fluid inputs maybe like at the top or something, and then have a line that is disconnected at that time, but it's like right behind that line. So like it'll be like the fluid machines are here, right? Then here is a line that connects to each direct fluid machine, but not to each other, of course, because you don't want to mix fluids. And then there'll be the fluid line that I have, and the fluid line will then run down to the basement. And then whenever I want to send up a certain fluid, I'll connect the fluid line to the one that I want to actually, connect to, and then I'll maybe flick a lever or something down there, and that fluid will go to here, wherever I want. But then I also need a draining system on that line as well. So I'll have like some drains for all these fluid connecting things, and then I'll have some kind of filter or something that can drain back to its respective tank. That would be ideal. It wouldn't be perfect, but it would be ideal for now. At least until I get an ME system, which is not until, I believe, HV. Let me see. Applied Logistics. Yes, HV tier AE2. So we will have to be going... Wait. The moon recipes. Okay, so we might have to go to the moon before we can do applied energistics, which is kind of crazy to think about, to be honest, but it makes sense, I guess. Applied energistics is quite magical. But yeah, this is... I'm super, super looking forward to the rest of this series. I think it's going to be great, and yeah, so far I've been having it's a love-hate relationship, I could say, with this mod pack. It's been definitely an interesting one, to say the least. We can put it that way. But here is... That's 10. Hold on. I just need 2 more silver wire, and then I should be able to make all of the things. I made 4 because, I don't know, I don't want to have to go and make some of these boards later. I'll just turn them all into it. So here we go. We've got our MV circuit board, and now all we need to do is put them together over there on the assembly line. And I didn't actually change the assembly line. I'll just have it go like... I need to put maybe like a couple pieces more coal here. We're not going to be using this line too much longer, so I can scrap this. I'm just going to put all the things on this line, and then hopefully they don't get stuck at the spout, because I just don't want to have to drain it. Actually, can I? No. I cannot do that. Because, I mean, that's some glue I could use. Maybe a bucket? No. Anyway, we're going to see what happens here. I'm just going to go ahead and set up the line with 2 diodes, 2 copper wires, and then the 2 electronic circuits. And then I'll have them all go through, and then I'll put the last 2 pieces there. So that is what I shall do. So let's go ahead and get started. We've already got the things here. So it was 2 diodes, 2 copper wires, and then the 2 electronic circuits. So we can do this. The copper wires, wherever I have... Oh, I need some more copper wires. And then we'll have 2 and 2 diodes. And then I'll just go ahead and put the circuit boards on. I just want 2. Hopefully it doesn't get stuck at the spout. It does not. Okay. And then we just need the basic electronic circuit and a steel plate, and those should be done. So we'll need 2 of these and then 2 steel plates. Where are my steel plates? There they are. Go ahead and put that and that. Okay, maybe not there. I'll put it here, I guess. And there we go. We've got our MV tier circuits. Beautiful. Now the electric greenhouse is definitely something I would be very much considering. However, we need the circuit assembler first. So we're going to make the circuit assembler, and then I can go ahead and work on the electric greenhouse. And once I get the circuit assembler, this entire line is completely obsolete, and so I can use it for other things, which is going to be so nice. In fact, I think I can actually do it now because I've already made the electronic circuits that I need for the rest of these components here. But yeah, we might even be able to just get rid of it right now, but I can do that off camera. Anyway, let me go ahead and craft all the resources, and then we can finally craft our circuit assembler, which is going to be awesome. Alright, now that I think about it, there may be one more thing I want to do before I really start making some changes around here in terms of infrastructure, and that is to make the advanced extruder, because you can make pretty much anything straight from an ingot. You can make rods, bolts, gears, small gears, rings, rotors, pipes, screws, pretty much everything that I'm going to need if I want to start automating things in one block. So that may be a goal for next episode. Yeah, so maybe after next episode, once I have the advanced extruder, then we can start streaming. That could be an option. So just let me know how you feel about that. But if we get the advanced extruder, things will be going much, much, much better. So yeah, that's where I'm currently standing. So I will see you guys. God, I hate how little inventory space I always have. I mean, I guess I could fix it, but I don't want to fix it right now because I'm lazy, so I guess it'll just perpetually be me complaining about how much inventory space I have. Anyway, I will see you guys in just a second. Alrighty, moment of truth, here we go. The circuit assembler. Beautiful. That is lovely. That's only half of what we need to do. The other half is getting aluminum if we want to get into MV, but that is a very, very, very good start. So I guess I'll just go ahead and go place it down, but like, honestly, I don't really know what I'm gonna do right now because I don't know if I have enough time to start a whole like endeavor here with getting like all my stuff put over here and all this other stuff. Or maybe even put it like over here. Maybe if I expand this roof this way and then put like all my storage and stuff that way, that might be nice. And then maybe do something else over there. I don't really know what I'll do over there just yet, but maybe that could be like a, could be pretty cool if it was like a power grid maybe over here. Then all my storage and then all the machines, and then the power just kind of comes from over there. But then again, that's a lot of cable loss unless I use superconductors, which might be a problem. I don't know, we'll figure it out. Maybe the power grid over here. Anyway, that's besides the point. Or a power grid in the basement. We'll figure it out. Yeah, I don't really know if I want to keep going with this episode or if I want to get this out to you guys. I mean, we did say what our goal was, and that was the circuit assembler. Maybe next episode can be the machine hull and the advanced extruder, and then getting all of the automation done on a stream, potentially. I will also need an MV steam turbine, most likely, at least until we can do America Simulator, which that could be an idea, because this is oil, and we can use it for gasoline and stuff like that. And if you remember, like, really, 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 really early on in the series, I was talking about how I had no idea what oil sands was, or, like, if there was any point to getting that ore at the time. Well, no. But now, oil sands are a great starting point for making oil. So, gasoline, light fuel, or diesel, which are all great power options. So we could go the oil route, which would be nice, but it would also kind of defeat the entire purpose of me getting a whole bunch of steam stuff hooked up. But I mean, it could be an option because we are right above an oil sands deposit. So we'll have to see. I don't know. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the progress we've made today. This has been kind of a more laid back episode, minus the fact of me having to continually craft things over and over and over again. Dude, the amount of crafting I've been doing is probably not healthy for me in the long run. It's been a lot of crafting. So I'm super excited to get an MU system, but that's not until HV. We still got another entire voltage tier and then some. We might even have to go to the moon before we can do HV or the assembly. What am I talking about? Before applied energistics, which is crazy. But yeah, I think this is probably a pretty decent spot to end off the episode. I might do some work off camera and get some stuff sorted out here. Maybe off camera I'll get the chests and stuff put over here, and then I'll start tearing that stuff down because you guys don't want to watch that. Maybe you do, I don't know. But yeah, anyway, that's all to say. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. You guys are awesome. We're super close to 300 subscribers as well, which is amazing to even think about. It feels like only yesterday we just hit 200. And so I just want to say thank you to people both old and new for sticking around and enjoying the content. I'll be sure to keep you guys updated on anything that happens, especially alongside, or especially with the stream stuff going on. If you guys have anything you want to suggest, please give me more Greg Tech suggestions, to be honest, because though I'm getting the hang of it, it's still not very easy. But that's all I've got for you. If you liked and subscribed and commented, pretty awesome. If you haven't, I'm watching you. I'll see you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.